Keith in Phoenix, Arizona writes to me, "Hey Paul, listening to your stories often has me reminiscing about the good old days of hi-fi and the high end, and indeed my days in the business back in the glory days." I love it. Admittedly, the products today, like those coming out of PS Audio, are so much improved from the days when I was selling electronics. But being more of an outsider these days, it seems like the romance of the business is different than it was back in the 70s and 80s when I was still in it. How, in your perspective and view of the consumer electronic business, how has it evolved and changed over the years? Well, hey, I go back a long way, and it's changed rather dramatically. Back when, in the romance days where everybody had a stereo system, I mean, in the 70s and 80s, few of us even had a television. I don't think I owned a television until probably the mid-90s. I mean, first off, Terry and I were kind of broke, but I don't think any one of our friends, and certainly not us, didn't have a stereo system. That was number one. You had your row of albums, you had your speakers, and you had your equipment. I don't care what it was, you had a stereo system. And today, everybody's got a television. You have a television in your pocket, for goodness sakes, right? It cracks me up. Whenever I travel, I'm just fascinated by watching people on their little handheld televisions. Their phones, okay, but it's a television, and they're being entertained by it. I mean, walking into things and they're like being hypnotized by these little televisions, and I guess they're bored or whatever, but it's so different of a culture. But back in those romantic days of hi-fi, when everybody had one, and some of us ventured off into the higher end. I mean, all this museum stuff here dates back. Here's 1983, here's 87, 82. You probably can't see the ones that are even earlier. And it just progresses over year after year. This was back in the day when that was the deal, when Macintosh and Audio Research and SAE, Bob Carver's Phase Linear, PS Audio, Quintessence, it was the thing. And we were all very much involved in it, and it was quite different than today. Today, if we ignore our small little sect of high-end audio, it's more of a consumer thing, right? And we kind of saw that coming when all the receivers started flooding the market. Every Japanese brand on the planet was cranking out Pioneer, Sony, all of those. I mean, this rush of receivers came in, and people snapped those up. It was just a very, very different time. Is it better now? Well, yeah, the equipment is a lot better. It's gotten, as you point out, so much better. But the romance angle, for many of us, it's still there. For most of us, not so much. I don't know if that's of any value to you, but yeah, I agree. Things have changed, and that's a constant, right? The only thing constant is change itself, or some clever saying like that. All right. Thanks for the question. Talk to you later. Bye.